Franco Ucci Thursdays with Franco, where we talk capabilities, projects, and emerging trends. A lot of my panelists have abandoned me, and I don't think I've got second prize. I think I've actually ended up with someone even better. Hey, Alex, how are you?
I'm well, Franco, but I think I'm more of a booby prize than anything else.
I don't think so, Alex. I can see you're biting at the bit already. And
Can't wait.
and we've got Manish here. And Manish, welcome to Thursdays with Franco. So Manish, what are we talking about today?
Thanks, Franco, for inviting me for this presentation today. So I'm going to talk about today a remote console, WebLogic Remote Console, which has recently been added to the WebLogic family. And it's very important for audience to understand what this console is, why it's been introduced, and what value it brings, and so on. So that's where I'm going to talk today. So. Many of you may have heard the news like December 2024, last year, the WebLogic, not WebLogic, like entire FMW stack 14C release was released actually. So obviously as part of that, WebLogic also got upgraded, SOA stacks and many other forms and report web center and so on. So there's a lot of bunch of FMW product got introduced. And as part of that changes, in WebLogic, there was one key changes has been made, which is this introducing this WebLogic Remote Console, as you see in my screen. So many of you may have seen the old blue color classical WebLogic screen.
Yeah.
So developers like me, people like me, many of us in this call been using this WebLogic blue color screen from 20 plus years and very familiar with that. But unfortunately, Oracle has made a decision to, remove that console completely from 14C release onwards. So if you are upgrading in future 14C, 14.1.2, any product where the WebLogic 14.1.2 base is there, then you will not see that WebLogic blue color classical screen anymore. So there's no way you can find, or there's no way you can configure. But what Oracle has done they came up with this another fancy UI, which is called WebLogic Remote Console. And the reason why they have done it, because they are saying the old screen was very hard to modernize because it was developed 15, 20 years back and the framework was not able to, they can't modernize this. So they have gone through this part to recreate a new tool from the scratch. And there is quite few advantage of this tool, which I'm going to talk about soon. But first and foremost, this tool is based upon the open source technology. There is something open source framework called Electron. And I can show you this. I already open a slide here, like this Electron. That's where this offer a Java-based, JavaScript-based, and HTML, CSS-based framework. You can bring a tool for across hyperscaler where you can run any platform actually. So that's where they started using that framework and build this tool. So that's one of the things. Second advantage is one of the biggest advantages, like in old blue color classical WebLogic, you were not able to monitor and manage multiple domains. You were only monitoring and managing only one domain at a time. So if a customer has 5 different environment like dev, test, SIT, production, DR and all, so there was 5 different browser URL you need to bookmark, and then every URL you need to hop around to manage and monitor that environment. But this tool, you can actually make a connection, multiple connection here. You can create a new connection here, new admin server connection, and then give that particular environment. So you can monitor multiple environment from the one screen. So that's where it's bringing a lot of value actually. And also by adopting this, WebLogic binary size has been reduced at least 500 MB. That's what product management is claiming. So these are some core benefit I just explained. Open source technology. It's a project is listed in GitHub. You can fork that project, can see the code, and then it can manage and monitor multiple WebLogic domain, and it has reduced the size of the WebLogic binaries as well. So these are the advantage, and it's fully based upon the REST API. So any button you click here, behind the scene, it's a REST API call going to the WebLogic and bringing the information back to you. So that's another thing.
Okay,
Okay.
so stop there, Manish, because I can see Alex is dying to make a comment or ask a question. Alex.
Yeah, so this is running on your machine, or is it running off WebLogic? Where is it running exactly?
Yeah, so very good question, Alex. Thanks for asking. When it comes to the deployment, there are two ways you can deploy this tool. One is as a desktop application, which you see right now on my screen.
Okay. So that's not a web browser.
Yeah, that's not a web browser.
Right.
So this is Git repository where this code belongs. So you can download that, the binary from here,
Yep.
and then you can just install it to your Mac system. And this is the desktop-based application. And at the same time, uh, you also got opportunity to deploy into the browser base as well. So I also deployed in my browser. As you can see, this is a Chrome-based browser. You can log in with your credential, and yeah, so you can log in with the credential, and you get the same screen experience what you see here exactly. So Oracle is giving you full flexibility when it comes to deploy, whether developer want to run in on their own desktop, or if somebody want to centralize the deployment of this tool for management purpose, then they can also put it in a admin server, or WebLogic admin server, and everyone can access that URL which I'm showing you here, this URL, and everyone can one central point. So this is the yeah. So that's how we deploy it. Yeah.
And you said before that you can manage multiple domains in a given WebLogic deployment. Can you manage domains across multiple WebLogic deployments?
Yes. So as I was mentioning, like, earlier, blue color screen doesn't offer you that kind of flex. One domain, one console. If you have 10 different environments, 10 different console to manage. Now, this one, you just need to make a new connection. I have right now made a connection to the SOA 14C environment, which I have run it. But I can have a connection here for 12C as well, and various different UAT and production kind of different URL. So you can see the connection. I need to specify the URL of my server local IP. So same way you just the dev test SIT URL,
and I saw proxy override there, Manish. Is that for getting through firewalls or something?
Yeah, that kind of setting. That's correct. Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's okay. So let me show you what what are the things you can do it here. So this is the home page of the console, and it gives you 4 different tree structure here. One is for modifying any existing configuration. Another is just for the read-only kind of stuff. And next one is like monitoring the runtime transactions. And the last one is mostly for the, creating the users, roles, assigning some privileges, and so on. So these are the 4 tree structure you can see here. So let's jump on a monitoring one, because that's where administrators spend a lot of time to monitor the environment. And let's say server is the important thing. Everyone want to know how many server we have, are they running status, and what's their status, what's the current of health status, and so on. So there's a bunch of information metadata available here, like stuck thread, hogging thread, throughputs, and so on this particular page, which you can monitor. You can issue the command from here, start and stop and suspend, likewise you do in the old blue screen. You can do all those kind of information here. So that's a server one. Similarly, you can also monitor the JVM, like what's a Java process heap size, how much is like free used, and maximum size allocated, and so on. And another good thing they have added here is like a thread dump. So in old days, if you remember, you need to jump into the server, run some command to get the thread dumps. But here they are giving you thread dump straight away, like you can see the whole threads dump here, what's going on inside the server. So this is a very cool features been added. You can also monitor all the deployed applications. So these are the application you deploy into the WebLogic server, and you can monitor their conditions, like what their health, whether it's okay or if there's any error in that system and so on. In addition to these things, there are few other stuff like under services, you can see I'm just trying to show you something. Okay, so I have to make rules. Just give me a second. This is problem causing me. I'm using rule is still there. Okay, so maybe some error different. Okay, so yeah, as I was mentioning, like you can monitor some services as well. Let me go to this one. Not edit tree, monitor tree. Monitoring tree is this one. Monitoring tree services. Under the services, we got a data source. Data source is another important thing. Like in data source, I think most of you know the data source, what the data source is. So it connects to the databases. So you can monitor all those data sources. You can see what are those data sources, and you can make the configuration changes and so on. And in this monitoring section, there's something called dashboard as well. So you can create some custom dashboard. So they have created some out-of-box dashboard to do the application runtime data deployment task. There's a bunch of things they have already created. So, but you can create a custom one as well. So I have created, let's say, this Manish custom dashboard, where you can configure whatever you like to do, configure, and then that will show you that particular changes what you have made it. So I just selected to monitor the one of the SOA server, but you can create a custom dashboard to add more different values and so on. So this is about all monitoring. There are a bunch of stuff, but due to time limitation, we can't go with each and every option in this. But the whole idea is to tell you, like, there's a monitor screen which allows you to monitor all the runtime data. And I think the most important, this one I forget to say, this log. You can also download the logs from this one. Okay, so let's jump to the next tree. Next tree, I'm going to tell you about some deployment process. So let's say another task, very common task, is to deploy application to the WebLogic. So let's say I have a web application, I want to deploy it. So how you can do it? You can go to the monitoring edit tree, as you see the edit tree here, and then you can actually create a new application. I will say sample web application. And then I need to provide a location where I'm going to deploy this. I'm going to deploy into admin server. And where is my source code? So I have a sample web application, sample war file. I'm just giving sample war file here, and that's it. I have to create that. And then, so once you save that one, there is something, this shopping cart option get enabled here, and which tells you what changes and all you are making. And then you have to option commit those changes. So I'm committed those changes now. So my application being deployed. Now, in order to see the status and run this, I need to go to the monitoring screen, go to the deployment section, and then see this. So the name I gave sample, this web application. So as you can see, this is in a prepared state because I just deployed that one. Now I'm going to run that application, servicing all requests. So now that application status will change to the running or active. Sorry, let me go back. So sample web application, it's now active, which means I can access the URL of that application. So I think,
Manish, it feels like the performance is blazingly faster than the old classical WebLogic. Have they done something special to tune it, or?
No, I think it just normally, because behind the scene it's all REST API.
Yeah.
It's fast actually. So can you see this
Yeah,
sample web
hello
application?
world. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like Tomcat to me.
Tomcat. So it's just a simple web application. I just deployed through this one. And similarly, like you want to undeploy, you just need to go to the change tree again under the deployment section. So in this edit tree, and then under the deployment section, you just go and then find out that application. And so I'm just going to search it again, sample web application, and then select it and delete it. So I can delete that application. You need to go and shopping cart and commit those changes. So commit those changes, that application will go away. And after that, if you try to refresh, it will give the error. So that's how simple is like deploying a web application or any application, whether it's a J2E application or it's a ER file, or it's a WAR file. The process is going to be exactly same, which I have explained. One, I just want to show about this particular thing for this security stuff in it.
Yeah.
So security stuff is like just creating the users and groups. So if you want to create a users, you can create it here. If you want to create a group, you can create a group here. If there's more time, I could create a group and user and log in into the portal, use this limited access. Like right now, I'm using the WebLogic user here, but you can create more users and give them only the monitor privilege. And when they log in with the monitor privilege, you don't see all these four stuff. You only see the, you only see the only two monitoring capability only. You don't see everything what I'm seeing right now with the monitor privilege and all. So that's the last thing I want to show. Yeah.
Thank you, Manish. And so probably the biggest takeaway I got is, when I talk to customers, a lot of them are saying, oh yeah, there's not much happening with WebLogic. What you're showing me is there's still a lot of forward thinking and smart ways of WebLogic being deployed. We've cleaned up the user interface. We've cleaned up the architecture. It seems like there's still a lot of legs left in this baby.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's as I was mentioning, now you got more privilege to do it, like managing multiple modules, and in fact, the reason why they went with the open source technology and all, and they separated that UI part of it so that they can make more frequent changes, because
Yeah.
WebLogic release does like every month or so. WebLogic release comes out once in a year, or that kind of things. So with this open source kind of idea now, a developer can contribute in very fast manner, agile manner, and then can release like every month or so.
Yeah.
So if you look at repository, you can see how frequently the release is coming, and so on. So that's where it's helping a lot. Yeah.
Great. Okay. We might just wrap it up there for the recording. So thank you for that.